Growing up in South Africa, Kivi Bernhard was fascinated by the hunting habits of Africa's most successful predator. His upbringing sensitized him to thinking about how his childhood interest could be utilized to help people to more successfully achieve their objectives. The lessons he gleaned from his observations of the animals of the bush became the basis of his internationally acclaimed business book, Leopardology: The Hunt for Profit in a Tough Global Economy. This book has been incorporated in the MBA program of business schools across America. Kivi has been described by Meeting Magazine in 2010 as one of the top 10 platform speakers in America, and by an International Speakers Bureau as one of the most promising and talented speakers in the world today. Kivi will introduce you to the pillars of positive predatory thinking. He will show you how the strategies of the natural wild can be applied to your own work in his talk entitled The Hunt for Excellence: Critical Lessons from the African Leopard.
Leopardology is a word that I came up with. Leopardology, Cheryl, in a nutshell, that simply describes a thinking methodology, critical business thinking. Of the business experience I have had here in the United States, explores and examines the hunting habits and techniques of the African leopard, the leopard, and parallels its strategies and methodologies from the bush to the boardroom. Thank you. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. All my family is still back there. I do have a sister living in Pittsburgh. I was born and raised there. We came to this incredible democracy, the United States of America, 11 years ago with 13 pieces of luggage, my 4 daughters, and a check for $860.22.
You go, boy.
You better believe it. And
Hi, and thank you for considering me as your next keynote speaker or seminar leader. You know, out here in the African savannah and bushlands, there are no Walmarts or McDonald's. If you as an individual don't mobilize towards your client with consistency and efficiency, you simply won't eat. Sound familiar? You bet it does, because that's the global economy you and I live in today. Successful teams are nothing more than a collection of successful individuals. Here's the thing, where's your organization on the food chain? Are your teams result-centric or process-centric? Are you predator or prey? To hold your conference or meeting in Africa would be both logistically and economically unfeasible. However, I can bring Africa, its magnificent predators, their intrinsic sales and leadership lessons to your meeting. Oh, and by the way, it's going to get wild. Just gorgeous, just beautiful, man. That is absolutely exquisite. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you're going to find 9,222 miles from the door outside. Exquisite, majestic beauty. I tell you something else you're going to find there. You are going to find consistency. You are going to find focus. You are going to find a passion for results. An unapologetic commitment to getting the job done. An absolute commitment to not spending time inside of the process, but rather being driven by the result. Becoming result-centric in the bush. No long, complicated, involved corporate mission statements. Do not need a thesaurus to understand that, man. Look at that. Hunt or be hunted. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. In the bush in Africa, no Subway, no McDonald's, cannot get a sandwich at a Starbucks. You want to eat? You've got to go out there and make that thing happen. Can you imagine if we had this kind of clarity, if we had this kind of commitment, if we married our dreams like that?
The Obama administration insists the economy is recovering and that jobs will eventually begin building back up.
It's a lagging indicator, but they've got to start turning it around pretty soon, or what is happening now is going to affect the election.
Mounting pressure for the president and his party, who have to create jobs or risk losing their own.
Our guest is Kivi Bernhard. He is the author of Leopardology, The Hunt for Profit in a Tough Global Economy. That report indicates just how tough the economy is, particularly for jobs. But you're more concerned about becoming an entrepreneur and creating your own job, aren't you?
Absolutely, Chris. You know, the political scenario, the economic environment will wax and wane. It always has done so, and it will continue to always do so. The question is, as an entrepreneur, as a business leader, someone looking to engage the market, will you have the courage to hunt your current market environment?
Those herds of zebra, impala, giraffe, 200, 300, 400 strong, moving through those plains, volatile, dangerous, complex, complicated trading environment that is perilous, and they ask but only one question: what is it that I need this day to survive? How do I not get taken out today? What thing from the world outside of me that does not exist inherently within my organizational proficiency do I need to bring from the world outside to enhance my efficiency and efficacy today? But what, ladies and gentlemen, of those majestic predators of Africa? Lion, leopard, cheetah, hyena. Follow me here. They live in precisely and exactly the same complex, complicated, perilous market space. But they ask an entirely different question. What is at the premise of their operational methodology? Are they process-centric, or are they perhaps result-centric? Do they have the courage to hunt the market they have been given, not the one they want? Are they willing to accept that flux, transition, dynamic, permanent shift and movement from old, staid, habitual trading habits are simply a thing of life? And will they insist on coming into the market space on a daily basis and simply asking, what is it that I have this day that will just bring me that much closer to permanent, long-term client relationships?
And I just heard Kivi speak, and I think the thing that I took away from it most was you have to understand your own self and your own assets and what you bring to the table. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to fill a niche that's not your area. Understand what you bring to the table, what your assets are, and be that person.
Fantastic job today. Learned a lot, most importantly knowing your territory, knowing your clients, and protecting that territory.
I thought the presentation was absolutely excellent. His ability to make you realize that you need to hunt your own hunt.
It's easier to understand that leopardology has actually been incorporated into 3 Ivy League business schools in the United States of America. It is critical business thinking gleaned from the hunting habits of Africa's most successful predator. In the short time that we have together, I want to cover 3 pillars of positive predatory thinking. There are 6. I want to touch on 3 that I believe are really critical and fundamental to our hunt for absolute efficacy and efficiency as travel leaders. Number 1, know what you are. Know what you are. So here's what just happened. You heard just what I said, and you thought that I meant, what are your qualifications for you to do what you do? You thought that I meant, do you prefer chocolate or vanilla? You thought that I meant, do you have a dog? Know who you are. I mean none of the above. I mean, what is the total sum and collective you? What are you, your organization, comprised of? And have you taken total inventory of it? I am talking about, have you taken total inventory of your apparatus, your tooling, your resources? Have you sat back from the hunt and actually done a deep inventory analysis of what is exactly at your disposal? This incredible resource that is travel leaders, with magnificent innovation in the Envision program, the technology that's continually being researched by Roger and his team to bring an absolute toolbox of magnificent technology together for you to be able to pump out business. The programs that are downstream, the knowledge base that you can tap into at travel leaders, generations of travel knowledge. Within your own organization, who you are, your family, have you tapped that? Have you touched it? Have you taken inventory of it? Your physical being, your intellectual being, your emotional being. I'm asking you a question. Who are you? Here's why it matters. That's what you're selling. You're not in the travel business. Travel is what you do. But your travel leaders brand is what you sell. An organization of 1,300 members, 500 locations, close on $7 billion of crude revenue, accumulated buying force in the marketplace, knowledge, expertise. That's who you are. Your personal signature, the human being that you are, working in perfect cohesion and synthesis with travel leaders. Watch something, my friends. You see, Leopard have an uncanny relationship with who and what they are. A totally undisturbed relationship with their tooling, their apparatus, their resources. And they don't apologize for it. And you've never seen a leopard wake up in the African bush and wish it were a giraffe. So, John, it's simply this. You know, the leopard is a solo, solitary hunter. It does not have the huge conglomerate resource of the lion prides, hyenas, and
they're loners.
They're loners. They're solo, solitary hunters, and they have a phenomenal close rate. They close 76% of all the prospects that they hunt. And that is unbelievable. And that was me. I did not have resource. I was one guy out there trying to make it happen. This happened for one and one reason only. On a Tuesday morning, in a moment in time, with weather that was something like 17 degrees, I had a moment's worth of courage to identify who I am in my essence, to trust it, and I took it to my client. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what he bought. Many, many vendors over the last 9, 10, 11 years have tried to edge their way into the space between Ted Young Jewelers and myself. They cannot. Many people with massive inventories that surpass mine 1,000 times over have offered price point, have offered terms and conditions, have offered delivery mechanisms, have offered infrastructural support that surpasses my capabilities tenfold. They cannot. Because Ted acquired me, the human being that I am, because I offered it to him. And he bought it. Incidentally, we transact diamonds. And so I share with you, know who you are. Identify it and take it to the marketplace, because it is your single biggest market differentiator. Particularly here in South Africa, I see this very clearly.
Okay.
Things have come into a space where kind of this is now what it is. You now need a paradigm shift. If you intend to hold and further penetrate market share, you are going to need to hunt clients. You're going to need to go out and fetch them, bring them in, court them, close them, and retain them. There is a secret you need to know. Leopard have an unexplained ability in zoological science to hold their clients 15, 20, 30 feet up in a holding environment known as a tree, where they will retain their client for repeat usage. It's unexplained. And by the way, to see it in the wild, it's extremely rare to see it, and to see it is something to behold. It is an awesome experience. You're about to see award-winning footage of a leopard treeing its prey. A holding environment, ladies and gentlemen. You see, if that is not customer retention, I don't know what is. Understand the essence of what HBW is. It's true culture. The founding fathers, what went on in their headspace? Because that's where you're holding your clients, your recruits that you're bringing in to build your team. That's where you're holding them. Even if they don't step foot inside of HBW, the culture, the philology of HBW is where you are holding your clients. So, ladies and gentlemen, in closing, I say the following to you. Living is not for the lighthearted. That's the stuff of life. It is in times like these that we truly know we're alive. To move through in the unconscious abyss of just let life happen upon me, we're done with that. That was yesteryear's economy. We're in a new place and space. And it is an opportunity unparalleled. It is the opportunity to discover the human being that you are. To identify it, to like it, and to take it with you to the marketplace. You folks have such a unique and incredible opportunity with HBW. You have such an incredible opportunity to be in an environment that is non-captive, that gives you trading freedom and ability, that gives you maneuverability and the opportunity to not only select prey intelligently, but to select your vendor supply intelligently. You have the opportunity to service clients as opposed to promote a brand. That is a unique component of HBW. Look at the synthesis and the magic that it offers. An environment like that with the human being that you are. What magic. And I share with you that it has been my honor and my privilege to be here with you today. Thank you. You people are the African leopard that have this niche cover opportunity to right here, right now, climb inside of that marketplace and gain membership like you have never done before. The chief of the village will always wear Zulu, leopard skin. And they say, "Amantle engwe." You see, as a kid, I used to think it was because of the power and the strength of that incredible, majestic closer. My tracker, Lucas, once informed me it has nothing to do with that at all. It has to do with what they call isipina, eyes. You see, leopard, ladies and gentlemen, have a phenomena when they hunt. Their neckline is in a perfect 180-degree horizontal line and never changes. Their eyes are fixed on their prize, entirely and absolutely result-centric. Tomorrow morning, the sun is guaranteed to come up. Guarantee it. The question is not whether the sun will come up. The question is, will you people, and I mean you, the human being that you are, will you be there to greet it? It has been my honor and privilege to be here, and may God bless the United States of America.
Let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you.
Know that Kivi is going to be signing some of his books in the Exploration Expo, just right next door, right after this. But I think a couple of takeaways for all of us. First of all, he reminded me that 22 cents is very important, right? Every penny counts, and I think that's something as financial folks that we need to remember, and thank you for that, Kivi.
Thank you for your time. May God bless you.